Hey there, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to the Jim of All Trades channel. Glad you made it by. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a Forex trader. I'm here to help you understand the market from an Elliott wave perspective. Sorry, I've been a little bit out and about I haven't been super consistent as I'd like to be. Over the last couple of days, I've been dealing with a major gout attack, and it's put me down on the couch for the last week and a half, and I've been doing my very best to kind of keep up with things, but it's so much pain, I'm kind of cringing through everything. Well, today was kind of a turning point today. I can kind of limp around the house now. It's pretty good. At least getting me started, got up out of the bed a little bit and kind of get back at it a little bit. So I want to get into the charts with you, see what I'm seeing, let you know what's going on. Are we bull? Are we bear? What's happening here? Let me turn my phone off so we don't have any sound here. All right, so let's just jump in. Don't forget, this isn't financial advice, never intended to be. It's just my look at the market. I wouldn't tell you how to spend your money. I'm just showing you how I'm spending my money. All right. Let me see here. A couple things. I got a question today from a friend, and he says, "Hey Jim, why did you miss this move in the last move?" The last move right here, right there. Yeah, I missed that one. We already talked about that one. I freely give that. That was not on my radar at that time. So missed that big time. But did I miss this move? No way. I said that one of the possibilities was that we could be doing that trick, a three-wave move up to the upside before we come down to the Z-wave. Now, if we continue on, then my whole Z-wave count is out of the game, and so is every other Elliott wave. Elliotticians count. Most of us are looking at the Z-wave potentially. Now, that being said, we also understand that there could be a possibility for the upside, but if you asked me, where do I think we're headed, I still think we're heading down for that Z-wave. That has not been invalidated yet, and I'm going to hang on to that at least for a possibility until it's invalidated, okay? But we did, man, so many videos when this wave was being formed, we talked about a three-wave move like that. Okay, so understand that. That was part of the deal. Okay, and we've always been saying $8,500 was a target, all the way up to $8,900, and so that's kind of where we're sitting right now. You can kind of go back to the videos if you care to, but the videos will show that correct. Now, I also shared what I thought would happen, and that's where sure, I got that wrong. What I thought would happen did not happen. So. What I said could happen obviously was in the charts, but what I thought would happen based on the wave structure, my interpretation interpretation of that was incorrect. And so basically what ended up forming, as far as we can tell, is this diagonal that's been formed here. And so diagonals are pretty tricky to see, and that's why this structure was so odd to me. That's why this structure was so odd to me, because I'm looking for an impulse, but listen, a diagonal, and so many times on these what do you call it, the expanded flats, guys, we've been getting these straight impulses off of it, and we get that over and over in the market, and then all of a sudden we got another expanded flat on our hands, but instead of getting a straight up move, we get an impulse that's an ending diagonal like that. Okay. And so basically that's what I'm seeing in the market right now. That's the only, that's the bear's last hope. Okay. In other words, when I say that, and it's not like I hope to be a bear. I'm just saying that if my contention, my interpretation of these waves has been correct, that's the only way we can continue interpreting that the same way. If this is wrong and this continues up for the bull side, guys, I have to go back and reinterpret all this and say something else was going on. My interpretation was incorrect of all of that structure. Okay, so that's where we're standing as far as Elliott wave perspective. Elliott wave really, again, isn't about getting it right or wrong. It's about knowing the possibilities and then preparing trades by them. Okay. If anything, I didn't handle, life got in the way, and I didn't handle, I missed a lot of that up move for various reasons in life. But with that being said, let's just talk about what we would expect to see from a bear perspective, and then I'm going to show you what I would expect to see if it's a bull perspective. Okay. All right. So within this diagonal, guys, we need to see three wave structures. My only problem with this, and I shared it yesterday in the live stream, is that this wave doesn't seem to be three wave-ish. Though if you look at it, there's kind of a little jog right in there. You could consider that, stretching it maybe. We have a running flat right here, boom, 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 and then another wave. That could be a three wave, but sometimes I feel like that might be stretching it. But that being said, that is a potential 535. If I zoom in on that, I can actually give you a 535 count in there. Okay, so that is that there is a count that allows for a 3-wave move. So that would be okay then. And so then we got a final 3-wave move here like that. What I would expect here, guys, is that we haven't gotten the continuation yet. We had a threat of continuation today, but it really was a big nothing burger. I'm expecting price to probably fizzle on out here pretty soon. We are coming up on Thursday and Friday, which a lot of times you get major moves happening. We might get one more hit to the upside before down and get a throw over. But that would be what a bear would expect. We got one more hit to the high, no higher than about $9,000, or it could wick through as long as it just rejects quickly from there. Any kind of wick through this area and a rejection, I'd be fine with as a bear. Okay, so that's what I would be expecting. I expect it to come down and break this trend line right here and continue on down. The targets I'd be looking for first is I'd want to see break of here and break of here in particular. We get those breaks right there, and finally a break of the low. That's going to give our final confirmation to the downside, obviously. So we get stronger and stronger bear-sided. Now, if you're a bull and you're looking at this as a diagonal as well, a bull can be looking at this as a leading diagonal. Okay, and that leading diagonal. So this was the bottom of the move. This is some kind of a 5-wave structure for the bulls. Okay, and then this is a leading diagonal. We expect some kind of a 3-wave move out of it, at least to 50% to 61.8%. Is some kind of a retrace of a standard into the golden zone region, and then off to the races. So that's the way a bull would look at it if he's seeing this as a diagonal right here. Okay. Now, if a bull's not seeing that as a diagonal, but just in kind of a diagonal shape, he's expecting this to break out to the upside anytime now and get follow through there. So let's look at the count if it was a bull side and say what would a bull expect? How would he be looking at that wave to break out to the upside? Now, the way I would count this right now is the way the structure and the fibs are working here is that we haven't even finished the 3rd wave yet. We have not even finished the 3rd wave. This might be close to the top of the 3rd wave, but yeah, maybe. Yep. Sorry, my fibs weren't a little get them precise here. Okay, it's as precise as I can get them. Still looking like we need to finish the top of this wave. If it's a bull, and that would be finished in the 3rd wave. Okay, let me show you how to be counting that. I'd be counting this as a 1, a 2, a 3, all that's 4. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. 1, 2, 3. All that's 3. We get a retrace of 4 back here. Look for a 5 up here. Okay. Now I personally don't like that, but that's how a bull's thinking. Potentially, if he's thinking, if he's thinking, let me make sure I'm still on the screen since I sat up a little bit. There we go. I'm still on the screen. There we go. That's the way a bull might be thinking. Now, that's not a very impulsive wave. It's not super, super strong, but it certainly is an impulse wave. And the way I would count this middle wave, and that's challenging for people, but this would be a 1, 2, that would be 3. That little dip is 4, and then all this is 5, the 5th wave, an extended 5th of the 3rd. So that would be a 1, 2, 3, expect a 4 pullback, and then a 5 on up. Now, that is a somewhat bullish look at that wave that's not finished. Let me show you a really, really perma-bull, moon boy kind of bull look at that wave. Let me just show you what that would look like if that were the case here. We would expect probably this wave to come on up here to the 2618. Let me show you what that would look like here. We've got 1, 2, get all the way up to 3, 4, 5 like that, and we would be expecting some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like so, something like that. Okay, and that would get us up to the 3rd wave, just up to 10,000. So this 3rd wave would take us up to $10,177, and then we'd be coming down for a 4th wave. Now, that would be breaking to the upside outside of this wedge, this diagonal and this diagonal would become nullified for that kind of viewpoint. Okay, All right. So that being said, that's what we're looking at, guys. Those are the scenarios. Now, what's my take on it? I think we're in a bear or a bull scenario with an ending, or I think the diagonal is in play personally. It hasn't been invalidated yet. And so personally, I'm looking at that diagonal as a nice wave. Somebody in our Telegram group shared this with me. Let me just share an interesting take here. If we zoom over here to the 2018 correction, you'll notice something pretty interesting. We had a nice. Let me see if I can get it here. A nice diagonal right here, which felt pretty impulsive as it was going up, but there's a nice, it could be a diagonal, could just be a three wave, but it's certainly a nice diagonal type shape there. You'd kind of look at it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. Yeah, could be, or it could just be an ABC. Regardless, similar shape, pretty impulsive looking, and then boom, all the way down. So be careful with that, guys. Then we had another scenario right here. We had kind of an impulsive kind of move here, almost diagonally straight up. There wasn't much stopping there. Right here as well. I don't like to compare this move a whole lot because it's right after this big drop, but again, had some impulsive moves right here. Look diagonalish. Look impulsive. This actually looks very impulsive here, all the way up to the end here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like an impulse. If I were doing the TA at the time, I would expect it a three-wave move to the downside. I'd be looking to go long around that region. That's why we got this stop right here, because that's a 618 most likely. 60. That's the golden zone. Had some traders taking it up, and as soon as it rolled over, it hit my stops, and we'd come on down. So that's the way that would have been traded. Anyway, yeah, I would have been looking for a three-wave move, but seeing this come down impulsively to that region, I probably would not have taken that trade because that looks too impulsive to come down rather than three-wave-ish. But nevertheless, it is what it is. So that being said, you can just kind of see that in these corrections, guys, we have waves that go to the upside that seem to be changing trend, but then they just fizzle out at the top and then come on down. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's happened in the past. That doesn't have to happen again, but certainly we'll want to keep that in mind as we go through the future. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I'm looking at this diagonal thinking, okay, that's significant to me. If I see a breakout to the upside, I'm going to be careful to understand that this could just roll over and come back in. But if I see continuation, then obviously we're going to be looking at a bull count. Once we get up to the $9,000 region and kind of hold that region, 9,100 even would be pretty substantial to me. If we get up to that region and kind of hold that, and I have a nice 5-wave structure that I can count here, then I'm gonna feel pretty confident, guys. We're in a bull run rather than a bear move. Okay. All right, so that's the way I'm looking at it, guys. That's just the quick of it. I don't have a whole lot to say here. I'm going to jump into the small time frame, just kind of take a peek at that with you, just to see, is there anything that's showing us anything that may give us a hint. You can see right here, I've got this wave kind of highlighted there. It looks to be kind of an impulse wave on first glance. Okay, it looks like you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's kind of a diagonal. It just doesn't have the wedge shape to it, so that's a possibility. But the other problem I have, is just that I got a 3-wave here, and then I got a 5-wave here. So I got a 3-wave and then a 5-wave. Now, another way to look at this on the smaller time frame is, and I always try to go to the smaller time frame to see, I don't trade off of this, guys. I use it for information's sake. Okay, this could be a diagonal number 1 right here. Instead of this being a 3-wave here, this could be a diagonal. Diagonals really make the market really, really challenging, but that could be a 1. Yeah, see, the problem is I don't have a touch here. I don't like this as a diagonal. In fact, I'm going to probably say, but because I just don't like that. That looks like a 3-wave, guys. It doesn't look like a 2-wave. Never mind. I don't think that's a diagonal at all. This looks very corrective to me in the nature of this. So it looks like we've got some kind of a 3. It's hard to even say, guys. It really is. So that's kind of clearly a 5-wave move, a 3-wave move, and then we've got another. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that, guys, because that would be a 3. This is or this is a janky diagonal, one of the two. That's all you got. That's all I got there. It's a janky diagonal, or it's whatever. But you can see that we got rejection off of that, guys. We haven't gotten the follow through. Even the rejection was kind of eaten up, but we haven't gotten the follow through. It looks like there's momentum to the downside. Most likely, this may, if I had to just tell you what my gut's telling me, it's just going to kind of fizzle over. And come on down. Looking at Litecoin, however, it looks like and I look at Litecoin just for some kind of confluence and see if there's any kind of, is there any kind of information that's going to help us as far as direction is concerned. This looks very much like a triangle. We'll see if it acts like a triangle here. We definitely have a 3-wave move here. The only problem I have is I got a touch here and a touch here. I don't like that for a triangle. I'd like to see only one touch. For ideal sake there, we got another 3-wave move, got a 3-wave move to the downside. So I'd like to see a 3-wave move here and then a back and then a breakout. That would be kind of an ideal thing, guys. So then you'd have an A, B, C, D, E, and then boom, you'd be off to the races. So if that tells the tale in any kind of way, then Bitcoin might just be in a complex correction. And if that's the case, Bitcoin's going to basically do something like this here, if I had to guess. Make some kind of a flat or a WXY. WXY wave like that. Come on down here and then break out to the upside. Where would that put us? That would probably put us in the 4th wave of the 3rd wave, and we'd have one more wave to the upside, or the 4th wave of the 5th wave. And then the one more wave would be that hit to the high we're talking about, and then we tumble on down. So that's the way I'd be seeing that in the grand scheme of things. So be looking for this WXY to finish, one more hit to the high, and then we break down. That would make sense to me from a market maker standpoint. That would make sense from an Elliott wave standpoint. Now, whether we break down bullish or bearish, I'm not sure. In other words, this diagonal could be a beginning diagonal. We could just get a 3-wave again, and then we could go to the moon from there. Okay. That's a possibility. So a bull case is we come down 61% and then we go to the moon. Okay. Now a bear is saying no. This is an ending diagonal of an expanded flat, and so he's expecting just downward motion, 5 waves down to the bottom, down to the finish line, and then we'd be going back up from there. That's the way bears are thinking. That's the way the bulls are thinking. All right. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. That just gives you a look at the market. It's pretty much, it could go up or it could go down right now. But that's what you could anticipate seeing, those kinds of variables there. That it'll be within that spectrum, guys, of movement that we expect to see something going on. So I hope that helps you. Anyway, it's kind of a, if you're not in a position right now, it's kind of a no trade zone. It's not kind of a no entry zone right now. There's no clarity to what's happening. So when there's clarity to one side or the other, then you can kind of make decisions that are smart, that take you, that you do well with your money. So right now, if you're not in a position, I just caution, probably stay out for now. Let the market clarify itself. Once clarity is gone, then you just trade with it. Don't try to trade against it. Okay, getting a little bit of a move to the downside here. I just saw $10, $15 move. I just wanted to see what that was. Nothing special there. Nothing special at all, unless it continues on down. But that's kind of what I was guessing, and kind of fizzle onto the downside rather than to the upside. That's the way I would see it. Okay. All right. You guys have a fantastic day. Hope that helps you. Leave some questions in the comment section. Thanks so much for your support of the channel. You guys have really helped me get along here to 2250, I think is where we are. Thanks so much. I really, really appreciate it. You're helping me and my family out as we pursue this endeavor in life, and we'll do it together. And thanks again for all your encouraging comments and just being a community with me. If you'd like more of that community, a little bit more interactive and personal, you can join our Telegram group. You can just check out my Patreon page right down in the description, and you'll kind of see what's going on there. All right. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.